All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. And you know how AI is changing everything, right?
Absolutely. It's incredible how fast things are moving.
Yeah, but sometimes it feels like, I don't know, a little bit like magic, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like we use these amazing AI tools, but it's like, how do they actually work?
Right. It can feel like a black box sometimes.
Exactly. So today, that's what we're going to dive into. We're looking at a new technique that's kind of like blowing the lid off these mysterious transformer models.
Ooh, exciting.
What's this technique called?
Okay, so get ready for this. Refined local learning coefficients,
Okay, what?
or rLLCs for short.
rLLCs. Okay, got it.
Yeah. It sounds a little intimidating, I know, but I am ready, like, to put on my detective hat for this.
Okay, I love that. I'm ready to be your partner. Let's crack this case wide open.
Perfect. So, from what I've been reading in this research, rLLCs are like those magnifying glasses detectives use, to find the tiny clues that nobody else sees. Okay, yeah, I see where you're going with this. So, like, what are the clues and who are we investigating?
Well, think of those attention heads as the suspects in our case.
Okay, attention heads, right. Those are crucial for how these models work. But for anyone who's not totally up to speed, can you give us a quick explanation of what attention heads actually are?
Oh, of course. So basically, attention heads are like individual spotlights inside the transformer model. Each one focuses on a different piece of the input, whether that's a word in a sentence, a pixel in an image, whatever the model's looking at.
Exactly. So it's like if you're reading a sentence, you might focus on the verb to get the action or the noun to understand who's doing what.
Yeah, perfect analogy. It's how the model figures out what's important and how the different parts relate to each other.
Okay, so that's attention heads. Now, where do these rLLCs come in?
Well, that's the really cool part. rLLCs are how we measure how much each attention head is actually learning as the model is being trained. So it's not just whether an attention head is on or off, we can actually see how intensely it's focusing over time.
So, like, one attention head might be sort of dozing off in the beginning, not really contributing much, and then suddenly, bam, it has a major breakthrough.
Exactly. And the research shows that these breakthroughs, they often happen in these bursts. Kind of like, those aha moments we all have when we're learning something new.
That makes so much sense. We don't just learn in a steady, linear way, right? Sometimes it's like a light bulb suddenly goes off.
Right, exactly.
So with these rLOCs, we can actually see those light bulb moments happening inside the AI model.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's like we can almost see the model thinking.
It's wild. It really gives us a whole new level of insight into what's going on inside these models.
Totally. Okay, so now the research also mentions something about how this level of detail, this granularity that rLLCs provide, it's way more useful than like the old school ways of measuring how well a model is learning.
Oh, for sure. It's like the difference between like getting your final grade on a test versus actually seeing which questions you got right and wrong and why.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it. So the traditional metrics, they just give you the overall score, so they don't tell you the why behind it.
Right. They don't show you the process. And rLLCs, it's like they break down the test. They show us exactly how each attention head is contributing to that final grade.
Okay, I'm picturing it like zooming in from this blurry satellite image to actually being on Google Street View.
Exactly. You go from just seeing a green blob to seeing the individual leaves on the trees.
Right. It's mind-blowing. So, okay, this has got to be a game changer for how we actually design and train these AI models, right?
100%. I mean, think about it. By understanding how each little attention head is learning, it's like we can create these super targeted training strategies.
Okay, yeah.
Like, imagine giving your language model a personalized curriculum. You focus on the areas where it's struggling and give it that extra attention at just the right time.
That's amazing. So we're talking about like way more efficient training. So does that mean we could potentially create like even more powerful AI systems?
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely one of the possibilities. And the research, like, it hints at some pretty wild implications.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, first of all, it's not just about, making our current systems better. It's about potentially creating entirely new architectures for AI models, ones that learn more effectively from the very beginning.
Okay, so like completely revolutionizing how we think about AI.
Exactly. Imagine translation tools that are so nuanced they can capture, like, those subtle cultural differences in language,
Oh, wow.
or chatbots that can actually understand complex emotions and respond with empathy.
Yeah, or I'm also thinking about like scientific research. Imagine AI systems that can analyze these massive data sets and then actually explain their findings in a way that like human scientists can understand.
Oh, that would be incredible. Unlocking all these breakthroughs that we can't even imagine right now.
Right. And that brings us to, I think, one of the most exciting possibilities here, transparency.
Yes.
If we can actually understand how AI is learning, then we can start to really build trust in these systems.
Absolutely.
Right. Imagine a future where AI doesn't just like spit out answers,
Yeah.
but it can actually explain its reasoning.
That would be revolutionary.
Right. And we can start to see the logic behind its decisions.
And understand, like, why it's doing what it's doing.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, I think what we're seeing is that rLLCs aren't just like this super technical tool. They're actually a key to unlocking the potential of AI in this like responsible and understandable way.
Yeah, it feels like a real turning point.
It does, right?
Yeah.
It's really exciting. So now that you've kind of had this peek behind the curtain with us, what questions does this raise for you about the future of AI? What doors do you see opening? Because now we can understand these incredibly powerful systems in a whole new light.
That's something to really ponder, isn't it? It's such an exciting time to be following this field.
Absolutely.
Thanks for taking us on this deep dive. I'm definitely going to be thinking about this for a while.
Me too. Thanks for joining us, everyone.